shameless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah,
searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory, yeah. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring, I just want a life that is worth every day exploring,
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement, yeah. There's no replacement for persistence, it's a patience, yeah. In this life, I wanna be soaring, to feel sun inside when it's pouring. And I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life life, I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Konnichiwa, Wariwa, Yamashita Marko desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Yes, I am guerrilla streaming because I have been called out on Twitter being accused of an anti, of a hater. And I could have just let it go, but I figured, nah. They gave me permission, so yeah, what the heck, right? Now, for everyone that's curious and that just showed up, as you can see on the screen, this person who evidently follows me for some reason, started throwing some accusations at me after I made a initial tweet at Miki Nico. And we'll go back all the way to the very beginning here, just so you guys can see exactly where everything started. So as you can see, I follow a lot of other people here too. So Miki Nico put out this tweet about 9 hours ago, right? This is the first tweet that she's put out in quite a while. Now, in response to that, approximately 3 hours ago, I responded to her by telling her that she really needs to start talking to her fan base about what's going on, because she has not streamed in quite a while, okay? And what she has streamed, the very last stream that she has done, she deleted. It's gone. For people who don't know, what was going on, it's gone, okay? We have no idea of what's going on because it's gone. It's, if something happened, if something didn't happen, people who are looking for information, who do they have to turn to in order to find out what's going on? Okay? That's the first question that I'm posing to people, that people like this person do not understand. Okay? And I'm going to break this down because I am a little hot at the exact response from people, but of course this is Twitter, so it's expected. But this is the exact response from people that I'm getting. Okay, so and it's kind of ironic, and it's almost it's a little childish too, because these people are like, oh, we're adults and we can if we aquaspa, then we're adults, we're responsible, it's our choice. But they act like freaking children, taking things out of context and twisting it around, saying, you're an auntie and a hater because you're sitting here telling her these things. Really? Come on. All right? So, unless you get information from the source, who do you have to rely on to know what's going on with Miki Nico? Anybody in the chat? I know there's people in the chat, but you know what? I know that some of those people are probably the same people that were trying to argue with me on Twitter, and they don't subscribe to me, so they are sitting here, they're like, oh, I want to say something, but I would have to subscribe to this channel. And other people, you're lurking. Hey, lurkers, welcome. I appreciate you being here, okay? But let me answer that question, okay? Unless you get it from another source, a source like people like me and other people who go out and try to find out what's going on, you're getting secondhand information that may or may not be true, okay? Now, I am very explicit in what I put on my channel. I look, I verify, and then I double verify my information before I put it out on my channel. And when I get it from a source, a single source, I will tell you when it's speculation, when that person is speculating, and when I am speculating. So these people who come around and run their mouth, and, oh, you're speculating, oh, you're slandering, oh, you're just making things up, and you're just trying to, get popular off of her. Hey, you know what? I was perfectly happy just having 2 or 3 people a stream show up to my gaming streams before this all happened. I was happy with that. You know why? Because we were just hanging out. That's all my channel was before this, okay? The reason why I took an interest in this is because Miki Nico suffers from the same thing I do. I know what she's going through. I've worked with cases like her and what I go through for almost 10 years. Have you done it? I don't give a damn if you are a doctor or not, or if I'm a doctor or not. I'm not a doctor. I was a technician. I was a medical technician. But I worked with psychiatric patients for almost 10 years. Have you done it? Unless you know exactly what the hell you're talking about, shut the hell up. Welcome, welcome. Everyone that's coming in, welcome. Because all we're doing here, all my channel has been since the last part of February is caring about her and making sure the truth has been said about Rusia. We fought for over a month and a half to save her channel. Every single person that subscribed to my channel, we worked in tandem, proving Corey wrong. So don't you roll up into my Twitter and say, oh, you're slandering her, you're you're a hater. Every single person that subscribes to my channel cares for that girl. We don't care for her like a fucking girlfriend. We care for her as a person. This goes beyond throwing money at her. This goes beyond sitting here and, oh, you're going to take her away from me because you're telling her to go get medical treatment. That's exactly what some of you guys are doing. You guys don't want her to go get help because you guys would rather her suffer and stream and then have to take hiatus breaks while she's trying to put her mind back together instead of having her go get help and get treatment and get her life back on track so she can actually have a fulfilling life. What's more important? Her entertaining you or her life? So you want to roll up in here and start accusing me of shit? I don't know that girl like as a close friend, but you know what? I probably talked to her more than you have, and I'm not just talking through super chats. Can you say the same thing? I've actually communicated with her. I've offered my assistance to her. I have told her, I said, you know what? You can use me as a resource. If you have something to say to the English audience, just send it to me in Japanese. We can translate it. We can put it out there. This is an official statement from Miki Nico. You know, this is what I'm going through right now. There's some problems going on, and and everything else. But you know what? She wants to do everything her way because if you actually know the girl and actually followed her as a member, you would know. Matter of fact, and let's see, where was it? That was a month ago. Okay. Open letter. Cover core. Was it this one? Open statement. Doctors. Nico. Where was it? Petition. It was down here. It doesn't go anywhere. Anyways. If you followed her, if you were a member of her channel, and you were an actual member of her channel, December 31st, 2021, she wrote, hey, it's a rant out here. Sorry that you have to sit here and check out. Come back. Sorry. But December 31st, 2021, she told her members that she's an extremely stubborn woman. And she realized when she reflected on that year, on 2021, that she had so many people that loved her, that were trying to tell her things, that she heard them but wouldn't listen. Because she was so stubborn and she was so, one-track minded. She couldn't help but just go in one direction. when people are telling her, stop, no, this is not a good idea. And that she finally realized, hey, I need to start trusting people a little bit more. The people that are giving me good advice. People that are giving me advice that I really should, maybe I should really start listening to. Is it really selfish of me to tell her to go get help? Is it really selfish of me to tell her that what she is doing right now, what she's presenting to people, that's only half of what she might be doing, looks extremely suspect? If you're going to put something out there and not explain it to anybody, people are going to draw their own conclusions. And right now, what she has put out there is fueling the fire of all the haters and antis saying, look, she just put up a fan box and that's all she's offering. She's just trying to get more money. That is exactly what the haters and the antis are saying. It does not matter if you think that, oh, she wants $100 a month, I want to support her, I'm going to give it to her. It does not matter, because the image and portrayal of what it looks like overpowers that goodwill of you donating that money. No one sees that you are donating that money because there is no benefit that can be shown in return. Okay? People that have fan boxes, and bear with me, okay? People that have fan boxes, when they have tiers like this, they typically, do a notification of the first of the month. Thanking all the donors. It's open to the public. You just have to follow them. Thank you to all the people who have donated in these tiers. You get public recognition for it. They recognize you for it. It's not just, here's all my tiers. Here's something quirky that, for what you're donating to, but it's very vague. And that's it. What happens is what always happens. The ugly side of the story overpowers the goodwill and altruistic giving of people who support her. It's called looking out for somebody. What happened to that? Does anybody remember when you would look out for people that you cared about? Now everything is, oh, you don't want to say this, because if you say this, you're controlling them. See, I'm just talking. I didn't control my cat to come in here. She heard my voice, so she came in to see what was going on. Was I controlling my cat? No. Did I even call her name? No. But she knows by the way I'm talking that I am very worked up right now. So she came in to see what's going on. She always does that when I get wound up. What you need to learn is to be considerate of her. he deluded himself about the fan box and criticized her. I asked her to delete the ID tag because of the damage. You ignored it. Okay, number one. Let's address that. Let's address that, okay? Because first of all, I'm actually glad that you are subscribed to the channel and you can reply or you can respond. So thank you for that. I appreciate you showing up. And did you reply something else? Oh, okay. I have no idea why my chat is so squashed up. But anyways, that's besides the point. So fan boxes have many broadcasters running similar blah 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 special and fan boxes. Yeah. I know what a fan box is. Okay, I know what a fan box is. I subscribe to 4 of them because I support small VTubers. I support small VTubers through their fan boxes, so I know what a fan box is. Thank you, though. Take it easy. I am trying to take it easy. I will endeavor to calm down a bit, Oreo. Thank you. Actually, let me just move everything over a little bit. Okay, so but let's talk about that. Okay, first. The reason why I tagged her is because she told me to. I have emailed her several times, okay? I have emailed her several times. And with all the other hate mail that she gets in her email box and all the other spam that is sent to her, she didn't see the first 2 emails. So I sent her a tweet and I tagged her. And she responded and then I told her, I'm sending you an email. Please keep a lookout for it. And she told me that the best way to get her attention when I want to tell her something is to tag her. If I have something that I want to say to her, to tag her. If you want to come around and start telling people like you were to stop controlling them and telling them what to do, please take your own advice. You don't know the situation. You don't know what has been said or not said between me and her. You were making assumptions based upon what you perceived in your own mind. You want to call me deluded? Your entire premise on why you got upset was based upon a delusion that you formulated on a prejudice that you had before you even started talking. The same with your buddy who jumped in, and then the other guy. This is not slander. This is not hate. This is not anti. Once again, I have probably talked to her directly more than you have. I have talked with multiple VTubers that actually run their own fan boxes to know how they work. I have seen the inner workings of fan boxes on when they first started up. I don't run one, but as a top tier donor, I was given information on what they were doing when they started it up. I have been a founder of multiple fan boxes for small VTubers. So when people come along and presume to tell me I do not know what I'm talking about, I take a vested interest in that, especially when I care about the person or the topic that I am trying to assist with. Now, just because I'm overseas does not mean that I cannot care. Just because I'm not a close friend or a family member of hers does not mean that I cannot tell her, hey, I can see that something is visually wrong. What you're doing and what people are telling you and the direction you're going is not a good direction. I think you should do this. It's called an opinion. When you care about somebody, you try to give them the best advice that you can give them. Do you see me flying over to Japan and holding her and dragging her into a hospital? Do you see me lording over her on every single platform and spamming her and telling her what to do? No. I made one statement. Actually, two. I made a video and I sent her a tweet. That's it. Hey, look at that. Here comes the other guy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The other one that was wanted to argue with me. Yeah, you're now a subscriber. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want you guys to understand something, okay? Number one, I support more independent and small VTubers than people that have, hundreds of thousands of people, okay? Now, if you look at my channels and who I recommend, yeah, I got Roboco here, I got Mel, Mickey Nico, Maury's here, all of them. But then I have people like Usagi Sensei. I was with her probably about a couple months after she was getting going on YouTube. All right, Alice, I've been with her almost since the beginning when she started on YouTube. Ankuro, I've been supporting her for I think it was at least 4 or 5 months now. She doesn't even have 1,000 people, but I support her on Fanbox. All right. Pina, I've been supporting her for several months now. I'm second tier supporter of her. Ayami, I support her on YouTube and Fanbox. She doesn't have a lot of, she doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but she is actually a mama of Mel. So there you go. Kanan is, she's also a small VTuber. She's friends with Ankuro. I play games with her online. I ain't sweet on any of these. I ain't like, you know what, if you take her away from me, I'm going to come after you. But you know what? If something happens to them, I do care enough to want to do everything within my power as part of the VTuber community because you know what? Every one of these girls here, they're all my senpais for one. Number two, many of these girls, they personally reached out to me when my mother was dying of cancer, and when I was struggling through that, and I was trying to deal with the fact I was watching my mother die in front of me. So yeah, there is probably just a little bit of a personal attachment there. But it's gratitude towards my senpais for being there for me when I was hurting. I hope people that are watching know what gratitude is. Have you ever felt gratitude towards somebody for when you really needed them right then and there? And they were there for you. Do you know what that is? Please tell me you know what that is. Welcome, you're late. So, what actions of Mikiniko we should be concerned with? Alright. I'm going to run through this extremely quick. Oreo, I'm sorry. I know I get worked up. I apologize, you know? But it's one of those things that, I mean, people really need to really understand that people need to understand that this is not just, I mean, if all the Andes and haters went away tomorrow, guys, this is not just going to go away. Okay? This is not just going to go away. Well, we'll get to that, okay? But let me explain something. Let me explain something from the beginning, okay? Let me explain something from the beginning, okay? Manic depression. She has said that over and over and over again. Manic depression. I have manic depression. I was diagnosed with manic depression. A doctor says I have manic depression. Manic depression is what they're giving me medication for. Okay, manic depression. That's the old terminology for it. Okay, Japan's psychological treatment of mental illness is, I mean, I don't want to say it's archaic, but it is dated. It is behind what current modern medicine is, okay? You know, most of the world now calls it bipolar disorder because it's within a same family group, okay? You have mood swings, drastic mood swings, highs and lows. You have you have depressive lows. We've seen those depressive lows, guys. We have all seen those depressive lows, okay? And then you have manic highs. And what they mean by manic highs is manic highs can, you know, it doesn't mean like, you know, they're tearing everything up and that they're completely out of control. Manic highs can be like, you know, she doesn't sleep. She is like overly productive. She is like just banging out things left and right. She's getting things done. She's streaming for 8, 10, 12 hours. You know, I mean, you've seen how like when she was with Hololive, she had stretches where she was just going and going and going and going, and all of a sudden she was completely depressed and she was gone for months, and then she came back and then she started feeling better. That's what manic depression looks like, guys. That's what manic depression is. It can last, depending on when the onset happens, it can last days, it can last weeks. I've seen it last months. Okay? I've seen the lows last months where people, like, you literally have to pick them up out of bed, put them in a wheelchair, and then you have to literally sit there and spoon feed them because they just can't process the fact that they need to eat. Okay? That's how bad manic depression can get. That's how low you can get, okay? Now, like they say here, they don't exactly know how it starts or where it comes from, but they believe it's partly genetic, and then you can have environmental cues that can trigger it. They try to identify what they call triggers with bipolar disorder and manic depression, so you can avoid those type of triggers from having those onsets. And then, of course, they think that brain chemistry and brain structure alteration can play a role. And when they talk about altered brain structure, that typically means like when your brain starts aging. Your brain starts changing when you age. So you start having like atrophy, or if you start having like degeneration in the brain tissue, that kind of thing, that can trigger it as well. You have highs and lows, everything else. Okay, now you can treat it with medication, but you have to be very careful about it, because if when you have those highs and lows, you can't take you can't take your upper what they do, okay, is they give you an upper, a stimulant, when you're depressed, for your depressive phase, to help you bring you back up, okay? But then you have to either self-monitor, or you have to have someone help you monitor, because if you keep taking that upper when you hit your highs, you start getting paranoid, and it starts looking like you start like really, it's like schizophrenia. You start panicking, and you're paranoid. Okay, you can't take those uppers when you're on your high. You have to take a downer when you're on your high to bring you back down, so you're at a healthy level. Because remember what she was talking about, where she couldn't even eat. She couldn't even put food in her stomach, because she was go. She was losing weight. You've seen the pictures of her. She looked very beautiful, yeah. But some of her pictures, she looks extremely thin. I mean, unhealthy thin, like almost like bulimia thin. And I'm not saying she has bulimia, guys, okay? Don't go around and say, oh, Marko is saying that she has bulimia. No. What I'm saying is that when you are on those highs, your metabolism, the way your body works, everything, you are just go, and you don't sleep. You're constantly burning calories, like you are constantly, on an energetic high, like you just took an 8-hour energy drink. Okay, that's what the high is. All right, so that's in a nutshell, that's what bipolar disorder is. That's what bipolarism is. Okay. Now, what this is my opinion, but based upon what I've seen, I believe that in part, the backlash that she constantly gets from social media, from all the haters and the annies, over everything from her monetization to, what happened in the past and everything else, all those things are a big trigger for her that sends her back down into her depression. So if she puts up this fan box and she doesn't fully explain what it's for. Okay? And and doesn't provide benefits for it, and she gets backlash for it. When she comes back and looks at the response for it, unless she filters out all the negative attention it brings, which she has yet to do on any social media account, it's only going to bring her back down. Okay? That's a problem. It's a problem for her. Don't you see where I'm going with this? Yes. Yes, yes. She lost a lot of weight back then, didn't she? Yeah. But what did she actually do, or did we just work in because of her behavior? Right now, we are talking just about what her. Okay, Humberto. Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are just talking about her current behavior. She had. There is a side story to this. I don't want to go into it because I will loosely go into it, but let's just say that she does have like multiple accounts, okay, other than the main Twitter account that everyone knows about. I am privy to some of those. There's a very different reflection of her current state of mind on those accounts versus what she posts on her public account. That's all I'm allowed to say. Okay? And that concerns me. And if you are a member of my channel or a subscriber of my channel, and you've been with me for the last several months, you know that when something concerns me, it really concerns me. Because I don't, I spent I spent a lot of time talking about her because, again, like I said, she deals with a lot of things that I have dealt with. I am in a different place with dealing with manic depression than she is because, number one, I've worked with it before. Number two, I have been through the counseling. Number three, I have worked with very, very good doctors that have helped me learn how to manage the various phases of my depression and my highs and lows. So when I see someone else that is suffering from the same thing and it's so out of control that they're heading towards destruction, or they're tearing themselves down, I can't help but get worked up when people say, well, I mean, you said your piece, let's let it go. If I want to be a friend to somebody, I can't just, I'm sorry, guys, but one of the comments just really irked me the wrong way, okay? One of the comments on Twitter just irked me the wrong way, okay? Because, I mean, How many people in the chat have had someone kill themselves? I'm serious. Had someone, actually put a gun to their head, boom, or slit their own wrist and die. Anybody? Anybody lose a good friend after homecoming? Because they were 16 and they were drinking. They were an alcoholic and their parents were never home, and they drank all their parents' alcohol, and their parents didn't care. He didn't say nothing. Anybody? Because I have. I lost a good friend because I let it go. I didn't say nothing, man. He rolled his car. He had a twin brother. His twin brother got ejected out of the car. They figure he flew about like 20, 30 yards, 30 yards. So he flew 60 feet in the air. Survived. But his twin brother died. Because he was driving and he didn't have a seatbelt on. He was drunk. All right? And his brother, he told me, afterwards, he said, you know what? Every time I look in the mirror, I see my brother. And the fact that I didn't stop him, it tore him apart, okay? And it bothered the hell out of me because I didn't say nothing, right? I've had a couple of friends, one girl that I did actually like, gone. And I told her, I said, hey, you shouldn't really be talking like that. Then she was gone. I mean, what are we doing, man? We're her fans, right? We're people that care about her being there, right? So, I mean, shouldn't we be trying to tell her, when things look bad and say, hey, this looks kind of bad. Can you explain this to me? Don't when you don't understand something fully, do you just assume that it's one thing and don't ask questions? Is that where Flaffy, you can actually type now. Welcome. I'll get to you in a second. I mean, please tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe people are like this now, okay? Maybe people are like this now. But if you don't fully understand something, do you just assume, and then you go on? But without knowing. If it doesn't look right, but you're like, it don't matter. I mean, is that where things are now? Are people not inquisitive now and say, hey, this I mean, people can take this the wrong way. Maybe you should explain this better. Don't you get it? She's a public figure. Things can look the wrong way for her. She doesn't speak English. So people that are English speakers are going to look at it and say, the aunties, let me tell you something, okay? I have connections that have worked their way into the auntie network. I can trace some of those connections into that auntie network. The moment that fan box went up, they all were just like, they were all ecstatic because they knew it was something they could use against her. They look at the overseas fans as chum in the water and they're a shark. Because they know that they can control almost the entire narrative of what happens with her. Unless people tell the truth, unless people can, actually get that information from the source. And some of us have to do a lot of digging in order to get as much detailed information so we can provide it to them. I mean, the exact same thing that I was telling you about. Sort by oldest. All of these videos, from the time that she was terminated all the way through, all of these videos, I dug to make sure I had the most accurate information on what was going on with the termination, about what happened during that termination, what we knew, what we didn't know. The minor updates, what people were saying with Hololive, what was not being said by Hololive members. The fact that Corey was lying his ass off the entire time, and he was fabricating things and that he manipulated her. The fact that what Mafu was saying didn't match up with any of the narratives that were out there. The fact that Miki Nico was considering leaving YouTube for Twitch. She was about ready to leave Twitch, to Twitch. Until people are like, hey, you have 1.2 million views on that one 10-second video. You should go see if you can monetize. And she was like, huh? What are you talking about? And people were like, go look. You have 1.2 million views on that video. You take 10 seconds, multiply that by 1.2 million views. That far surpassed the 4,000 hours that she needed to monetize. And boom. I mean, come on, guys. Sorry, I'm just back reading a little bit. Now, Flaffy, I don't know if you were here, 10, 15 minutes ago. Oh, I can't believe that I'm still having this conversation with you. Anywhere. Okay, and maybe, I mean, anywhere did, can you really take? You really need to start talking to your fan base about what's going on? Is that statement forcing somebody? Or is that just kind of a strong suggestion? I mean, how is that forcing somebody, man? All right, let's go back a little bit. Oh, wait. I don't want to go back that way. New window. saying, why did she open a fan box only to go on break? Have you seen what she's charging for the tiers versus the content? Where did I say that I was going to force her to listen and do exactly what I was saying? I mean, it's almost like you're suggesting that, I have a way of making her do exactly what I say. I mean, how can offering a suggestion and an opinion constitute forcing somebody to do what I say? I don't get the logic. Exactly. Exactly. Now you're getting it. It's not even complete. Maybe she should tell people, this is not everything that is going to happen with my fan box. I'm going to be adding more. But you know what? Maybe she shouldn't be charging people for a fan box that she hasn't completed yet. Every other VTuber that I know of, that I have been a part of, and maybe you weren't here when I was talking about it. I have been a founding member of four fan boxes, and every single fan box that I've been a founder of, they were a complete package and tiered list, exactly what they were going to give to those donors. So they knew exactly what they were subscribing to. It's not the matter of fact that you are doing it out of the goodness of your heart, okay? Because that is what you're doing. When you buy something, you are doing it because you wanted to support the person and the people that made the product, right? Now, if you donate to somebody out of the goodness of your heart and you're just, giving them the money, yes, that is one thing to do, okay? And you can certainly do that. However, she is a public personality, a public figure, somebody that has tabloids talking about her, somebody who, when her name is dropped, hundreds of thousands of people click on videos when they are like, scandal. Okay? There's a difference. When you have a VTuber that maybe has 10,000 followers do this, that's one thing. And I'll tell you what, I have given $100 a month to VTubers through their Streamlabs. Just because. Because they're small, because they're just starting, they're trying to get monetized, they're trying to get their channel going. Maybe they have a potato as a potato laptop as a computer. They're trying to get their equipment together. All right, so I know what it's like to donate to other people. My channel is not monetized. Okay, I have a Streamlab donation link. You know how much money I've had donated to me? I've had maybe $7 since January. I pay out everything out of my own pocket. I'm proud of that. I don't care if I get paid. Because I do this number one, for fun. Number two, I do it because because there are things I want to talk about. And whether or not there's 10 people in chat or 100 people in chat or 500 people in chat, I do it because I want to have a voice. All right? Now, whether or not you want to believe me or not and say, well, you're just trying to control her, I am giving her my opinion based upon experience because I've been there. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something, Fluffy. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell the whole chat this. Some of you guys, like Oreo, and some of you people, Umberto, I get the point with the amount of anti-chasing after you, the most careful yet. Yeah, exactly. Umberto, you and Oreo, Umberto and Oreo, you probably know this, all right? Some of you else in chat, you probably don't, all right? But I know I can relate to what she's gone through, okay? I can relate. I can't say that I was, a popular person who fell from grace, but I can relate. I had a good job. I lost that good job. I lost that good job to circumstance. I fell from, being able to make payments on a house, have a couple cars, being able to go, overseas, have money in my pocket, doing all that good stuff, all that, having all that, access cash and everything like that. I went from that to, having to have surgery on my body for, because I was in a freak accident. Losing 7 years of my life trying to recover from that accident. That accident is what triggered me developing that manic depression. All right? And I've had it ever since. I've had it for over 15 years. I've worked on it, on trying to make sure that it doesn't get the best of me. Right? So unless you've had a life like that, and you've had a life that you can somewhat relate to having her fall from grace, have the best life of her life, the best job she's ever had, have her fall from grace like that. And all of a sudden, what am I going to do with my life? My career. What am I going to do with my career? What direction am I going to go? How am I going to be able to, who can I trust? Where are all my friends? How come no one talks to me anymore? How come people are only taking from me instead of, helping me out? That's exactly what she's going through. Over and over and over again. So she has to think completely about what she is doing. And it has to be presented in a complete format. And yet, even if that complete format is criticized, if you do not have kinks in the armor, those criticisms will fall off. Whereas if it's an incomplete form and things are like only 20-30% done, like they probably are right now, people are going to say, wait a minute, where's the rest of it? And then, when she has to disappear for days or weeks at a time because she's dealing with her own mental issues, people will start asking, well, wait a minute, I'm giving her $100 here. People are giving her another, 20 over here. Doesn't it look like she's taking advantage of them? And just like people here on Twitter, they start spinning it. Just like they started spinning my own words. It's like you. You started spitting my own words. The fact that I made a concerned statement to her that she needs to explain what's going on. We don't need to hear it from me. We don't need to hear it from some third party or second party or fourth party source about what's going on. We don't need people like you who go around saying, oh, well, we can assume and we understand, when you don't know what is going on because you haven't heard from her. Unless you can come into my chat and tell me that you have heard from her, you have no place to speak. Come on, keep talking. You have yet to actually answer any single question. I mean, my good listeners in the chat, if you want to see and know exactly what a troll and an anti looks like, here you go. Like that Kyrie said, you can't relate someone from your life. You cannot relate someone from your life experience. Your problem is not her problem, and she had to grow from her own mistake. I can only support or advise her. Okay, number one. Number one, Flaffy, you have still not provided one single concrete. You have still not provided one single concrete thought of your own, much less a valid point. Okay, so if you continue to be toxic in my chat and not constructive, you're gone. My chat and my stream have tolerated your constant, oh my god, you're such a double standard. Oh my god. Then say something constructive. Use your own thoughts. Make a complete sentence. Make a valid point. You have yet to make a valid point. And that's the problem, isn't it? You have no point. My point is, no one had the right. Had the right to what? No one had the right to what? You have still not told anyone, me or anybody what I am forcing her to do. Tell me, show me what I said that is forcing her to do something. There is nothing you can produce that says I am forcing her to do something. That is your entire problem. That is why you immediately change the subject or you start using other people's words. The only thing you are getting off of is the fact that you put these very vague comments as a response, and then you have your anti-friends come along and like your post so you can feel better about yourself. That is it. So unless you have a valid point, shut your trap or you're gone. Then post them. Show me. You got a minute to post them. You got a minute to post them. Clock's ticking. Now, as far as the other person goes, you cannot relate to somebody from your life experience. Yes, you can. Okay? You can, no one lives the same life. That is correct. However, how do you think diagnosis for psychological conditions happen? How do you think conditions of medical natures are conceived? Because of what people go through. It's called observation. And like you said, it's called experience. That's why you give advice from that experience. You can use the actual tested, tried, and current therapeutic practices of what psychology uses to treat the actual illness to better people that have the same illness. It does not matter whether or not they have lived the same life as you. It's like if you have a cavity, okay? You know, millions of people have cavities. But those same millions of people do not all live the same life. Yet the same diagnosis and treatment is the same. The process may be different. However, the treatment is the same. You use all the things that people have learned to be able to treat the problem. That includes what you learn from people that have gone through the same things you have gone through. That is why you learn things from parents, why you learn things from siblings, why you learn things from older people, why you go to a freaking school and have a teacher teach you. Why do you think all the anime out there, you know, you have these young students and these old teachers? Okay, you're gone, man. Oh my God. You're just recycling oh my God. Okay, you have literally just shared what we just talked about. You have just shared what we just talked about. You're gone. You're gone. I'm sorry, man. You're gone. Bro. That is not forcing somebody. You want to hear forcing? Okay. Listen. All right, here we go. Fluffy, you really need to stop repeating other people's words. Fluffy, this argument's already been had. You're recycling other people's words. You really need to. Do you have any original thoughts? Fluffy, you really need to have some original thoughts. Have I forced you to have any original thoughts yet? Fluffy. Fluffy, have you had an original thought yet? Have I Fluffy, you really need to have an original thought. I don't know if maybe I've forced him too hard to have an original thought. Fluffy, I haven't banned him yet. I haven't kicked him out. Fluffy, have you had an original thought yet? You really need to have an original thought. Fluffy, please have an original thought. No, this person really wants to, try to have this argument, okay? This person really wants to try to have this argument. If I were bullying this person, I would have not given them a screen. I have literally given them my stream. I have given them a significant amount of my stream to make their case. I have not banned them. I have not muted them. I have given them a visual and text way of communicating. Okay? If I were bullying this person, I would not let them speak at all. That is bullying. Okay? Make that clear. Every person that hated on me on Twitter, they have been given my stream, my screen, and the chat to make their case. Because if they want to have a conversation about this, then let's have a conversation about it. But all they want to do is sit there and twist words. They want to accuse me of something. I have a right to state my case. But if someone's going to come in here and just sit there and literally just sit there and throw hate, like this person has, and not have a single concrete thought, argument, or point to make, they deserve to be called out on it. Because they have wasted everyone's time. Okay, you convinced me. Stop scaring me. You answered only my negative comments. I feel so. I'm terrified. What? What are you terrified of? What we all really care here, we all care. I think she's okay in the ways and always way. Look, so what I do know and what I can tell you is this. Right now she is right now I know that she's struggling, um, especially because of Golden Week. From what I will only label as unconfirmed sources, as to not give away those sources. She stated that she didn't refill her medication. So she had been struggling because of that, and she had to wait until Golden Week is over because apparently all the pharmacies are closed during Golden Week. I don't know. I don't live in Japan. But what I do know is that from the tweets that I've seen of her and the accounts that I know that are hers, she is having those ups and downs. I hope that I hope that May gets better for her, and that she's able to build some momentum going forward, because that's exactly what she needs. Is she needs I think that she needs structure. Honestly, she needs structure. She needs to kind of have like that schedule type setup, because I almost felt like Hololive had her on a schedule, so she regardless of regardless if she felt like she wanted to do something or not, she had those commitments. And since she was able to meet commitments, she was able to push herself through a lot of those down phases. And with her being on her own, I don't know if perhaps because there isn't that structure there, she doesn't feel like those when she has those downs, she just kind of lets it go, or lets it get to her. But the other thing that concerns me is that she is very wired into social media. And again, I go back to that social media aspect, where it doesn't matter whether or not somebody like me tells her, that she needs to communicate better. It really doesn't, guys. Because that, if you want to call that criticism, that criticism is so mild compared to what the Annies tell her. You want to call me an Annie? You want to call me a hater? This is nothing compared to what the Annies say. I'm sorry. You're wrong. You're just completely wrong. Do you guys even read what the Annies tell her and say to her in Japanese? Did you check her fan box? Her 1,500 yen fan box? I'll tell you what, if you do, check it and you are willing to share with the chat what you don't have to share exactly what's in it, and I would not encourage you to. Please do not distribute, content that is in there if she has posted actual content in there. But, if you could give us, if you could give reassurance of maybe what's in there, I think that, for me, that would be nice and helpful. It would definitely give people that listen some peace of mind that she, of what kind of content she's putting in there. Hang on, let me go back a little bit because I see that someone thought that I've ignored them. I told you my secret when you asked. Well, not me, but audience, and you ignored that. Then I wrote negative comment, and you replied, "Should I not be?" Pharmacies are open there. Hi, Karu. Hi, Karu. Do you? I'm sorry. Let me just ask Hi, Karu. Hi, Karu. Are you in Japan? Are pharmacies open during Golden Week? Because the tweet that was retweeted from the account that I saw said that she ran out of her medication and she could not get any more. So I don't know. Maybe she had to get a prescription for it. I'm not sure. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know how things work in Japan. So I cannot speak on that. You told me your secret when you asked. Was that on Twitter? What are you talking about? I don't want to. I don't want to ignore you. If you told me a secret and I ignored, here, Nani? I'm so ungrateful hearing Marko's story. I think everything is okay by me. Is that what you're talking about? I'm sorry. I had there is a lot of stuff. I'm sorry if that's what it was. Yes, at the very least, Friday was a regular day. Okay, that's good to know. So both chain pharmacies and in-hospital pharmacies were open yesterday and today. Okay, good. Because the tweet that I saw was from several days ago. Before that, the previous one? Okay, I'll scroll back up. I'm sorry if I missed it. The tweet I saw was from... I think it was from Tuesday. Yeah, it was from Tuesday. She said that she ran out on Tuesday. So that's good. If maybe that's why she posted that picture. and that food picture as well. That's good. I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I look, everyone in chat, and I just want to make something extremely clear. Okay, if I have an opinion, I'm gonna keep that opinion. Because my opinion is based upon what I think is factual, and I try to be as knowledgeable of that opinion as possible when I present it. Okay, now if you can give me a counter to that opinion, a counter argument to that opinion, it's something that I can consider. And people that have been in my chat, and people that have been in subscribers to my channel for a while, everyone knows that when I'm wrong, and when people have proven me wrong, I apologize. And I will say it out loud. I was wrong. This person was right. And this is the information that they gave me. Because I want to make things correct. I want things to be correct. Okay? Now, I hold fast to my opinions on what I think Miki Nico should do. Okay? When I think that she really needs to talk about something, that's my opinion. If I were to say, you will do this, or, I'm going to make you do this, or, I'm going to come over there and make you do this. Yeah, that is forcing somebody. That is threatening somebody. Okay? If you feel threatened by somebody saying, you really need to start talking about this, I honestly do not think that you should take that personally, especially if the conversation isn't geared towards you. Okay? Because this was a reply to her, not to you or anybody else. Now, if we were talking, if you and I were talking as friends, or as viewer to streamer, and we were talking, all right, and US chat said, we were talking, and we were talking ideas, or we're talking about a specific topic, and one of you guys walked up to in chat and said, "Hey Marko, I think you really need to do this because it'll make your stream a lot better." Is that telling me what to do? Are you controlling me? Or are you just giving me a suggestion? Is that are you making me your puppet? It's not. Okay? So let's move that to the side. And if that person comes back, they're gone. Okay? So I am really going to have to scroll back up. I am so sorry I missed your comment. I tried to catch everyone's comment as much as possible. Now I feel worse because I hadn't anything near to this, but I didn't want to live. Is that what you're talking about? The thing that I really want to hammer home on everything is I don't think she's suicidal. Okay, but let's get that out of the way. Okay, I don't think she's suicidal. I don't think that she is her life's in immediate danger or anything like that. Um, what I feel, and it goes back to before that. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. After I make this point, I'll keep scrolling back. Okay. um. What? How can I explain this? Okay. Look. I'm not sure how many of you guys in chat or, who watch or who will watch or, who comes in watch the VODs. I'm not sure how many of you guys are streamers or content creators or anything like that. Okay. I got into content creating purely by chance. Okay. I started streaming because several of my other friends were streaming. All right, and I just wanted to play games together. That was it. I just wanted to play games together, and the best way to do that was to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna stream. Hey, let's stream the same game. And that was basically it, right? So we did that, and and then I got my live 2D and everything else went from there. But even then, there was only like maybe 2 or 3 people there, right? But the thing of it is, like I told you before. The reason why I was streaming was because my life was wrecked, my life was wrecked. I had lost my job, I had lost my career, I had lost my health. I've had 6 surgeries since the accident. Okay. I've had 6 surgeries. I haven't been able to go back to work. I haven't been able to go back. I wasn't able to go back into my original career, which was in mental health. Okay. And then I went into IT. Then I had another accident in IT, that broke, a bone in my back. And now I need surgery again. But then COVID happened. All right. So I lost my career again. I lost my career twice in the span of 17 years. I've lost 2 careers. I have to have back surgery. It's going to take 26 hours for them to fix my back. That's how complex the surgery is. 26 hours. And they're figuring at least another year or 2 after that of rehab. So neurosurgeons are already backlogged because of COVID. I have at least a 2.5-year wait before I can even get in to have the surgery. And then another 1.5 years of rehab after that. And if there's no complications, maybe I can get back into my career field. Depending on how I heal. So I'm looking at another loss of close to 5-6 years, right? It's 23 years of my life I've lost. All right. So when I went into when I stumbled into content creation, I stumbled into streaming, became a VTuber, just did it for fun, just did it because it was something I could do from home. And honestly, I do it because it's something that I can put myself into. Then I found out. God, I just now remembered. God, wow. So Mother's Day is Sunday, right? 6 years ago from Sunday, My mother told me she had cancer on Mother's Day. And she was gonna die. They couldn't treat her. And I watched her waste away for 5 years in front of me. I couldn't do a damn thing. Right? So I know what it's like to see somebody with my own two eyes have something going on and not be able to do anything about it. And be able to just have to put my hands up and say, well, I've said all the things I could say. I've done all the things I could do. There's nothing else I can do. I know what that's like. All right? Being a VTuber and content creation was my big out. It was the thing I could put myself into to channel that, everything into, to get me away from everything. And let me tell you something. You can insult me, you can harass me, you can do like some of these other people have done and say all these things about me. But let me tell you something. When you have people like Roboco, Mel, Maury, Alice, God, who are the other two? Usagi Sensei and Charlotte Suzu. When all six of those VTubers were able to reach out to me and keep me grounded when I was hurting the most, that they were the ones that inspired me to want to get a live 2D model, to be a VTuber, and to be somebody different within the VTuber industry, even if I don't even get 1,000 people as subscribers. Because the way I conduct myself, the way I conduct my business is different. Today proves it. Because the way I care about people, the way I care about fans, the way I care about my subscribers, the way I care about my senpais, and the way I express myself towards my senpais and towards my peers is that different. And yeah, it might be quote unquote more real, but it's because I choose to be different. I choose to try to push what a VTuber is to that next level, to something more than what people perceive as just an idol or as an avatar or as somebody cosplaying or whatever you want to call it. I want to be that different person. And again, if people don't care for that kind of content, don't care for the fact that, I'm speaking my mind, speaking the truth, and the fact that I don't just ignore everything and everything's sunshine and rainbows, and go along with that flow, okay, fine. But I do it because I care. I don't do it for me. What am I getting out of this? Right now, I was gonna go to lunch. I was gonna go to lunch before people started arguing with me on Twitter. All right, I haven't even had lunch yet. I mean, I've been streaming now for what, almost 2 hours. I was gonna go to lunch, but you guys are more important. You know, I want to be able to talk to you guys and tell you guys exactly why people are saying what they're saying and posting what they're posting about me in regards to Miki Nico. And I want people to know exactly how I feel about Miki Nico, because she's not my waifu. She's not my girlfriend. She's not even my love interest. I would like to meet her one day. Yeah, sure. But you know what? I know I don't have a chance in hell with her. That's just the way it is. But as a person and a human being, I care about her. Just like I care about everyone else that's in chat. Even if you hate me and you think that I'm condescending and I have a double standard and everything else, you know, I care about people until you give me a reason not to. That's the type of person I am. And if you get to know me, you will know that. So, you know what? It might be quicker if you repeat what you say, but I'm gonna scroll back up one more time and see if I can find it. I consider that as a win of aunties because they made leave and return to depression. Okay. Umberto. Is it that you called me a Chad? Wait, Mikiniko is not your waifu? What is she to you then? An idol? No. She's not an idol. I don't consider her an idol. She's my senpai. Mikiniko is my senpai. And in fact, I will say this now. Every single person here, they're all my senpais. I consider them my senpais because number one, they've been VTubers longer than me. Number two, they've been content creators longer than me. And number three, several of them have taught me a lot of things, either directly or indirectly, that I have been able to apply to my streams or to my presentation, and I am very grateful to it. And you know, I have looked at the demeanor, at the presentation, at the way they talk, the way they act, the way, the type of people they are, and this group here, I'll be honest, this group here has had a very dramatic influence on the type of person I choose to present myself as. Because every single one of them here have given me either advice, or they've given me a they've given me something that I can watch or listen to and gain a perspective of when they do their presentation. At some point, I would like to get some of the other equipment they have so I can add the bells and whistles, and that's why it's not working. actually make sure that my background music works. Yeah. Healer, welcome. Um, let's see here. Thank you for the explanation. I have one friend who tried to do suicide by cutting veins, but he didn't have enough strength. To be honest, after watching one of your streams dedicated to Russia being fired, I thought of suicide myself. Is that what you were talking about? Yo, no idea what's going on, by the way, so I have to watch the archive. Hey, so basically, I made a comment. By the way, let me know if that was the secret that you were talking about. Okay, I will talk about that in a second. So basically, Healer, I made a reply to Mickey Nico's tweet, telling her, yeah, I found it. I finally found it after scrolling up, saying that, telling her, you really need to start talking to your fan base about what's going on, because right now what you're doing looks suspect, especially to your overseas fans. And then I linked my my video of that I broadcasted, or that I premiered yesterday, of why all the fan base should be extremely concerned about her behavior. And of course, I rubbed a couple people the wrong way, and then I also triggered a couple people who immediately started accusing me of being an anti and a hater and stuff like that. And then they started, doing their thing. So, yeah, I basically, I basically countered them with facts and telling them exactly what I was thinking. And I said, hey, you know what? Fine. You want to disagree with me? You're giving me content for my channel, and they dared me to air it. So I said, okay, fine. So I guerrilla streamed. um, and and I've spent the last hour and a half pointing out exactly what I said in my tweets, why I believe it, and providing the information on live information. Most of that information is already in the video, but I went ahead and represented most of it, especially in regards to manic depression, on why I am this concerned about her, why I think the fan box was an extremely bad idea, especially if it's in its incomplete form, and why that is just giving the antis, the actual antis and haters out there, fuel for the fire of saying that she is taking advantage of her fan base. No, you are not disturbing me. You are not disturbing me. I'm glad that I found it, because you know what? A lot of people felt the same way. A lot of people felt the same way when things started happening in Russia, and it's a bad deal, because look, if something like this were to happen to any one of the other ladies here, I would have felt equally as bad, and I would be doing this. Let me say this right now. Okay? Especially the ladies here I have listed. If one of those things were to happen to what happened to Russia happened to one of the other ladies that I have listed here, I would be equally, speaking out about what's happening with them, trying to offer my support, and trying to make sure that their fandom, their the people that support them, know what is fact versus what is hearsay and what is rumor or slander or false. Because these ladies are all, and like I just said, are all important to me. I would feel very devastated if something like this happened to Roboco, or God forbid, one of these ladies, suddenly had a health issue and they had to step away. I mean, you guys have no idea how crushed I was when Marine, opened up about her throat issue. I was devastated because, Marine was one of the first VTubers I ever saw. She was one of the first VTubers many people saw. Especially a Hololive VTuber. Her "I'm horny" thing. That whole thing. That was one of the first things people saw. Along with thank you. I die, thank you forever, and some of those other memes that were out there at the time. That was one of the first things I saw when I discovered Hololive. But I absolutely fell in love with Marine as as a character and her presentation. I mean, today I sat there and watched her, when she played Among Us with the other ladies and stuff like that. I was so happy to be able to watch her play a game with other people and laugh and do voices and stuff. And then she started coughing, and then she started struggling when she was trying to make her voice mimic Picolo's voice. And in the back of my mind, I started crying again because I'm like, my girl, please, I hope you're taking care of your voice because I don't want something to happen to her. I mean, you guys, I want you guys to understand. For me, VTubers, this life as a VTuber, these girls, the world of VTubers entered my life at a very pivotal moment. And I need you guys, I don't need you guys, but I would like you guys to understand that, that in the midst of death, in the middle of having my life completely in shambles, this new life was presented to me. And it's a life that a lot of people have always kind of dreamed of becoming an anime figure, becoming entering the kind of like that anime world type thing. Being able to do those types of things, being able to interact with some with other anime type figures. Do you know how many of these ladies I played games with? I played games with Usagi Sensei, Apina. I played games with Mel. I played games with Ankaro. I played games with Kanan. I've played games with Ayami. I've gotten to play games with anime girls. I mean, some of the funnest things I've ever done were because of VTubers. So I'm going to be protective of them. But I'm not going to be protective of them as a object. I'm gonna be protective of them as people. And just like you were saying, when something bad happens, yeah, you're gonna feel that hurt too, because it's gonna cut deep. But you also gotta remember though that even if you're one of 656, or you're one of 826,000, I want every one of you to remember, and this is not a threat, and I'm not making you, but I am asking you, okay? I want every one of you to remember to stay strong. And even if it hurts deep down inside, what happens to them, that you need to keep your head. Keep your head straight. Think clearly. Don't think emotionally. Think clearly. Because you gotta think clearly to help them and to support them. It can't all be emotion. It can't all be, spontaneous emotion pouring out. It can't all be, just, that passion that comes out, and that generosity. It also has to be clear, level-headed thinking. So when things happen, you can think objectively and help them find the right way. Because when bad things happen, they're not going to think clearly. And more often than not, they're not going to be able to ask for help because they're too busy panicking. Or they have so many thoughts running through their head that they asking for help isn't the first thing that comes out of it comes into their mind. Offering an opinion, offering your thoughts, offering a perspective is not a bad thing. Okay? But if you want to be able to do that, you have to be able to see that they're hurting, feel that hurt yourself, and then compartmentalize it so you can think clearly. And as a friend or as a family member, quote unquote family member, since we are cat family to her, or as a fandom, if you want to prefer to call it a fandom, or as a friend, or as an acquaintance or whatever, you can give that perspective. But just remember that just because you give that perspective does not mean that you automatically dismiss that perspective. Because if that person it really means something to you, in whatever form they mean to you, as a friend, family, acquaintance, work, co-worker, whatever, if they have some meaning and purpose in your life, don't throw away that perspective and say, well, it's now all in their hands. Own that perspective. And, if you see them continuously stumbling with the same problem, and they haven't tried what you've suggested again. You say, hey, you know what? You tried this. Now try it. Maybe you could try what I suggested. You've been having problems with this. people have been saying this. Maybe you should tell people what's going on. I admire the fact that you can tell me that you felt like you wanted to commit suicide. And you know why? Because that proves to me that you felt what a lot of other people felt when something bad happened to somebody else. And that, you didn't just look at her as another popular person that fell from grace. She wasn't, if I had to, give my top 10 of Hololive members that, I really liked, and enjoyed watching, she would be in my top 10, was she in my top 5? No. I tended to watch Roboco, Mel, Mori, Luna, and Fubuki back then more. But that didn't mean I cared about her less. But I'll tell you the truth that for me as a person, if you, it doesn't matter. You as a subscriber, you as a person, you as a friend, you as a sponsor, you as a whatever, okay? You as a human being. I try to treat people as equally as possible. And what I mean by equally, I mean I try to treat you as a unique person and human being. And that means I don't treat you with any less care than anybody else. That includes people that, I've only talked to. I've had friends for over 10 years that I've only talked to by voice and through video chat. That's it. And we're great friends. We talk on a weekly basis. We play games on Xbox Live all the time. I've done them for 10 years. I've had friends on Final Fantasy 14. We were friends back when we played Final Fantasy 11. We were friends when we played the old Korean MMOs back in the early 2000s. I've known them for 20 years. Never met them in person, but we're still friends. It doesn't matter. Friends are friends. And I treat them as friends. It's like I treat all of these ladies as senpais. But I want you to remember that if you feel that level of pain, it doesn't make you, a bad person when you see somebody like Miki Nico suffer. It means you have a big heart. It means that you feel some of what she feels. And it hurts to see her suffer. But just remember that you even if you feel that level of suffering and it hurts inside, that it is something that you should have guide you and not control you. And that guidance is compassion, not destruction. Sorry, just back reading just a little bit. One of the problems I have with the VTuber community is that if you bring constructive criticism, it just means you're an anti. Constructive criticism. Constructive criticism rocks the boat, and it tends to it tends to how can I put it? There's an abstractness to the VTuber community which is very toxic. And it's so toxic that it makes me wonder exactly why people in the community don't do something about it. And the answer I've come to so far, unfortunately, is the fact that instead of trying to do something about it, they realize they can capitalize off of it, and so they just ride the toxicity into monetization, and then monetization into profit, and then profit into success. And then they just, they find that niche within, and then they insulate themselves from the rest of the toxicity. I don't buy into that. I speak my mind regardless of what it is. If tomorrow one of somebody were to go off the rails and start doing something that was very objectionable, I would talk about it. I am currently very not welcomed in certain circles because I talk about Mickey Nico. When I started talking about Mickey Nico openly as a VTuber, and started creating a dialogue about it, I was immediately labeled as as somebody that was toxic and was no longer welcomed in many circles because people felt that I was just profiting off of drama. And that's why I repeatedly say I don't profit off of anything. I don't get a dime off of this. I've been streaming now for 4 months, and then out in 4 months I've had like maybe $7. That's fine with me. I still pay for my own equipment and everything else. Don't bother me, but that's just the way it is. But that's why I also choose to be the type of person I am. But I also hope that in some way or shape or form that I can leave some kind of impact at some point to maybe help start a change within the VTuber community. And that's why I was really pushing for saving her channel, because people need to stop trying to erase the past so they can learn from it. And that's where I think the VTuber community is also failing, is that people keep repeating the same mistakes, and it's because there's no life lesson out there for people to reference, and until you're able to reference it and see it, see that person did exist in some way, shape, or form, how are you gonna know about it? Yeah, maybe suspect was a strong word, but I mean it's already been put out there. I can't take the tweet back. It's already out there. So she hasn't responded to it or anything like that, and I haven't received a reply. So I mean, it is what it is. Um, you know, why mince words? Well, and that's just it. My philosophy has always been that I've just been upfront or try to be upfront with my words and let people take them for what they are and try to be as honest and plain as honest as possible so that you can take it for what it is. So I mean that's probably why I just left it the way it was. And people hate me. People hate me. I mean, that's just the way life is. You know, it's not going to change my opinion. I believe that she needs to address her audience. I have told her that repeatedly. She needs to talk more and stop deleting what she says. She needs to say things to her audience so we can understand. You do not want to you do not want to if you want to control a narrative, you don't want other people talking for you. That's a complete statement. If you want to control a narrative, you don't want other people, speaking for you. You want to do the speaking. So the narrative is coming from you. The only reason why you would have other people talk on your behalf is, translation, which she would, need to reach out to somebody to give that information to do the translation, or because you trust them to be able to provide the information correctly. But she doesn't have that resource out there of people who can provide that information correctly. I've seen a couple people state that she was taking a break. I have not seen that announcement anywhere that she was taking a break. Unless I missed the tweet somewhere that she said she was taking a break. Oreo, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you being here. Did she reply to you suggesting that to her? So when I let me rewind here real quick. So without going into the conversation too much, I basically, when she first, officially acknowledged that this was her channel, I emailed her and just quickly explained to her, who I was, what I was doing on my channel, and that I was, and what my content was, just so she understood what I was doing. All right. And she replied back and thanked me for the help. And she said that she appreciated the overseas help with during what was going on, and that and I told her, I said, yeah, I'll continue to tell the truth and try to help the overseas fans understand what's going on. And then when was it? It was right after the Genshin Impact incident. I emailed her back again, and I told her, I said, I told her in not so many words, but because it took a lot to try to get the words correct, because I typed it out in English, and then I also wanted to give it to her in Japanese. I told her, I said, look, you had this incident happen, and the information that we get is basically coming from unreliable sources. And I told her, I said, just look exactly at what happened with Corey, because once again, as soon as it happened, Corey immediately went on the air and started saying, look at what she did. She took advantage of this guy, etc., 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 and that's not what happened at all. And it took several days, at least 2 to 3 days for everything to come out completely, and for all of the major news outlets to finally catch on to what happened. And I said, look, it's taking this long for people to find out the truth. And in the meantime, everyone's suspecting you of this action, And the overseas fans don't know what to think of it, because, all we have is the hearsay, and then what people are immediately grabbing from Corey and running with. I said, we really need you to talk to us. And I said, if it helps, just, when something like this happens, or you need to tell us something, type it out, post it somewhere, posted it on Twitter, make a statement on Twitter. We can translate it to English, or, send, if there's several content creators that that do that you could trust, that have spoken positively about you ever since Hololive happened. Email us a statement, and then we can read off the statement, and and it could basically be like your press release. That's what that it's the smart thing to do. So we're getting information directly from her, and we can know what you're doing, or what's happening, or why things are the way they currently are. I mean, the Fanbox thing was kind of just out of left field. It was kind of like, she debuted, she disappeared for a while. After her member stream, she came back, she did another stream. She did her Splatoon stream, and then there was the Elden Ring stream that got privatized, and somewhere in between the Fanbox happened. And somewhere along the way, there were a bunch of the JP bros were like, Fanbox, and everyone was like, where did this come from? It's like, join my Fanbox. Okay, why should we join the Fanbox? What are you going to be doing with it? usually, I mean, sure, if we want to support her, sure, yeah, fine, but I mean, at least try to make us excited about it, you know. Um, dangle, try to dangle that carrot in front of us just a little bit, I mean, like, some of the gals, when they do like their merchandise sales and stuff, they're like, hey, if you buy my merchandise, you'll get my opai, and you'll get my opai mouse pad, and you can touch my opai, I mean, stuff like that, I mean, throw us a bone, that kind of thing. But but her reply was, that's, and not so many words, is that she wanted to do things her own way. So I mean, I let it go. I mean, what should I have done in that position? I mean, should I have forced her? No, of course not. It was her decision. I didn't touch her mental health then, because she at least sounded like she was making decisions. But now just the pattern of behavior and the lack of general communication and just when I had to take this leave here recently, and I was gone from streaming in general for the last I think it was probably like what 7 days. I still kept everyone informed. I was posting on Twitter. I posted some updates in Discord, and I was trying to keep people up to date on what was going on. And I also have some stuff I need to talk about, and I'm gonna mention it later on tonight during my tab stream. At the beginning of my tab stream, in 5 hours, 4 hours. So, but in the meantime, I just feel like that it's another component of Hololive that she likely does not quite understand, or maybe she just doesn't realize, is that there's nobody communicating on her behalf for her. She doesn't have a publisher or a publicist. She doesn't have people promoting her, other than the typical fans. So she doesn't have the she doesn't have people speaking anything positive towards her, and she she doesn't have a schedule announced. So where is she? Forget the fact that she has paying members. Where is she? Shouldn't we be concerned about that? Shouldn't we be concerned about that? That she made plans, and now she's gone, or she disappeared. I mean, is she okay? There's a legitimate concern there. It would be just like if one of my subscribers that is always here suddenly disappears. I would worry and wonder where they went. I mean, Red, she typically pops in during my evening live streams. She disappeared for several days off of Twitter. I was worried the hell about what happened. If something happened. And I finally, sent her a message, and I said, hey, hey, everything okay? And kind of find out she was working doubles. She had to work doubles. I was worried the hell. I was like, because she was one of my consistent viewers. I was worried the hell that something might have happened. I can't do anything from the United States, but hey, I was still worried about her. It almost feels like some people think that you can't feel worried about people that are online because they're not really in front of you to begin with, so they're disposable. And people aren't disposable. Just because we're here for entertainment, so to speak, doesn't mean that we're disposable. And Mickey Nico certainly isn't an object, regardless of what trolls out there say. It's not. Let's see. It's not just saying or speaking up. Her actions are kind of strange. There's some concern. There's definitely some concern, and that's why I'm saying we she needs to speak up. She needs to talk. I wouldn't say that I'm on a first name basis with her. I mean, sometimes she doesn't reply, but she'll kind of reflect something I have mentioned to her. There was I told her a little while back, because after she was using she was using machine translation with her her live 2D debut, but she was speaking extremely fast, and the machine, the system just couldn't keep up and eventually stopped on her. I told her, I said, hey, if you're going to use machine translation, you gotta slow down and you gotta pronunciate because you're it does not it's not going to understand what you're saying, and everything that's coming through in English is complete gibberish. And then the next stream that she did, she slowed down. She started speaking a lot clearer. She was speaking her sentences and pronouncing her words and everything, and things started it still was kind of touch and go at points, but things were a lot clearer when it came through. So I do think that she does read everything that comes her way, but it's just unfortunate that she's not gonna have a level of trust with anybody, at least as far as I know. Anyone that she talks to, I'm not saying that I know her well enough to say that she's, who her friends are or anything like that, because, she may have friends or family members offline that she has, trust in. But that said, I wonder, what the status is of that, those types of relationships, because that is one of the foundations of dealing with manic depression is having those real connections, or having connections that can be there during those highs and lows, so they can be supportive. Now that you mention it, I kind of get it. I hope you guys do. I hope you guys do. And I hope that, people will begin to understand that there's there's no malice involved in what I'm saying. People, you cannot you cannot love somebody in any way, shape, or form without also having that quote unquote tough love type thing. And I don't mean tough love as the stereotypical tough love. I'm talking the fact that that there are times like I said, there are times where you do something and it doesn't quite it doesn't quite turn out the way that you want it, or it doesn't turn out quite the way that you don't quite get the response you want, and then someone says, hey, maybe you should try this. I mean, that's you're giving a suggestion. You want to help them improve. You don't want to see them fail. You're trying to reinforce a positive behavior. The negative behavior, or the people that whine and complain, because they think that you're commanding and them to do something. And it's like, you want to see them continue to stumble and fail? I don't. I want to hear her sing again. I haven't heard her sing since that one song she did with her Live Today debut. I want to hear her sing again. That's what I miss the most. I miss her voice. So, anyways, now that that's out of the way, I am going to go get lunch. And I'll let the people, the mostly nameless people, do whatever they want to do, say what they ever want to say. Because quite frankly, these arguments. Mike Nico-chan, I never doubted you. Don't listen to his words. We overseas fans always understand and trust you. We never doubt you. Don't let him make us in your eyes dirty. This is so funny. This is so funny. Look at the shrine. What does it say anyways? I just want to know what this is. So her name is White Goddess Aroma. White God Aroma. Oh, yeah. I'm the one that thinks that she's my girlfriend, but they apparently love Miki Nico. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah. And they love Luna Hime, apparently. Okay. Sure. I mean, you know, it's very condescending and extremely incriminating that this person is projecting, considering that their entire Twitter feed is nothing but Miki Nico. But I'm the one that's obsessed and wants to control her. Does this make any sense? Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. Who's the obsessed one here again? Who's the one? Who's the one that wants to, there's nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Do we see the problem here? And let me give my opinion before I go here. My opinion is this. My opinion is that this person has a very, very, very unhealthy obsession with Miki Nico. And the fact that I offered an opinion to the person threatened to burst that bubble and take Miki Nico away from them because she needs help. And she needs to go get help so she can, come back and be the streamer that she can be. And because this person felt threatened by the fact that, Miki Nico might actually have to go away for a while to, either get treatment or, get help with, her mental health. They felt like I was trying to control her and tell her what to do and take her away from them. I mean, it just keeps going. There's nothing else. There's absolutely nothing else here. I mean, are you... Oh, there's a Hachima. There you go. Okay. But we have established that that this person celebrated Iago's birthday. The same person that fired her and took her channel down. So you celebrated somebody who literally nuked Rushia off the face of the earth. So there's that. I suppose we should be happy that you celebrated that, maybe? The fact that you're completely obsessed with her, but yet you still celebrated the person that refused to, man up and save her channel, her character, her legacy. Okay. I mean, it just keeps going. Okay, we finally got into something that is... Oh, no. These are all from Miki Nico too. That one isn't. But that's still tagged Miki Nico. I mean, it's all Miki Nico. Every single thing is involved with Miki Nico. Okay? This is the person that accused me. There is nothing else here. Yo, if you're still here, I don't think you are. You probably took off by now. But if you're still here, this is the person that accused me. Okay, this person has nothing else on their Twitter account but Miki Nico. Nothing. This person is obsessed with her. Okay, this person literally felt threatened that I dared to give her advice. And you notice that person stopped talking the moment that I told them I actually spoke with her. Something they probably have never done and probably got so jealous of, they probably rage quit and left. Okay. And for the record, I don't speak with her on a daily basis or a weekly basis or anything like that. I have spoken with her. I have emailed her. She has emailed me back. Okay? It's not like we're lovers or anything like that. Nothing to be jealous about. I've given her my support. I've told her I speak the truth. I speak the honesty for her. Try to tell the English audience exactly what's going on. Clear up the lies from and deceit and tell the truth. She thanked me for it. And I've given her some advice. Some of it she's taken. Some of it she hasn't. 1% something else, 95%. Yeah. That's what I've spent the last almost 3 hours ranting about. That's funny. I hate Twitter. Yeah, I hate Twitter. It's enabling the obsessed. She is our Rusia, exactly. Rusia will always be loved by everybody. That's the way it should be, and that's the way it is. Rusia will always be loved by those that choose to love her and continue to love her. And Miki Nico as well. And we love her, we give her advice, and we offer our opinions, our constructive opinions, because we love her. And if you don't think that's healthy or whatever, then you should re-examine what you think is healthy. But it makes a lot of sense now that why they demanded I didn't tag her. They were jealous. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go grab food. I'll be back in about 4 hours. We'll play some tabs. I did a little bit of reading up on the units and stuff like that, so we'll give it another whirl. I know we had a lot of contents on tabs that we still hadn't gotten to yet, so I want to play around with that a little bit. And also, like I said, I also have, I got the Switch Sports. I've had some fun with that. But I might use that as something that's a little bit more down to earth if we want to chat more. Especially like if we do like the bowling stuff like that, where it's less hectic and everything like that. And then I also the what's that Where's my Xbox? Xbox. I've seen some divisive opinions on it, but I still want to give it a try. There is also Trek to Yomi. I want to try Trek to Yomi. That looks pretty interesting. I have that downloaded, so I might try to stream that on Sunday. And then there was another kind of fun game I saw that I wanted to try too. So we got some stuff coming up. So we'll try to have some fun and not have any ranting, or try to limit the ranting. So yeah, have a good night, guys. If you're leaving, Ghostwire is definitely coming again. They did some bug fixes for it. There were some bugs that popped up or that were found, and they did some bug fixes for it. So now that they patched it and they moved to the next patch, definitely want to play that again. And I've done a lot of the side quests, so I've been able to do kind of like the farming offline, so we can get back to the story. So we'll get back to that as well. Definitely. And then eventually I also want to pick back up Dying Light 2. So I still have that in the queue. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat. Well, I'll be back in about 4 hours, guys. So we'll see you then, okay? You guys take care, and we'll see you in 4 hours. Peace.